Hello. Hello. I'm live. Share your screen with your audience. Okay. How do I share my screen with my audience? How do I do that? How do I share my screen with my audience? I don't know how to share my screen with my audience. Hello, audience. Hi, y'all. This is my first time coming live on YouTube. All right. So, um, I chose today. I just said, why not? Just let me do it. Just let me do it. And so I come today. Um, I said, just come and vibe with me. But yeah, come on, vibe with me a bit. Let's talk about a few things. Yeah, we can talk about a few things. All right, so my fan is right there because it's hot. It's really, really, really hot. All right. So I think for the future, I think I like this background, my wall painting there. I like it as a background. So I'm gonna do something to ensure that I can, um, face the camera. You know, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to face the camera. But for now, I'm like kind of sideways. All right, trying to make myself as comfortable as I possibly can. Um, Nobody has joined me as yet. I hope somebody will join me soon. I didn't plan for this, but at least it is something I've always wanted to do. And so I said, let me just do it. You know, in life, in life, whatever it is that you want to do, just do it because there is no right time to do anything. I need to get to the barber to fix myself up. I've been to the barber in a few weeks. Yeah, and all of that. And so I said, but I said that that's not going to stop me from coming on. I'm just going to do it because I felt like doing it. So today is the Saturday before Mother's Day. And you could call this a pre Mother's Day live. Nobody has joined me yet. Um, and I don't know. I'm trying here to share my screen. Who could I share my screen with? Not the entire screen. Um, okay. So it would be all right. What's going on there? Okay. I'm not sure what is going on here. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what is going on here. Wow. I am trying. Stop sharing. YouTube is sharing a window. I want to stop share that. Yeah. I don't think that is helpful. No, I don't have anything to share right now in that regard. All right. So let's see today as pre Mother's Day. Now, I lost my mother 24 years ago. She died in 2020, December 10, 2020. She died. Buried on the 22nd of December, the same year. Um, I chose to bury her that early because I didn't want to go through Christmas with all of that, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to celebrate Christmas with her being dead, and I'm looking forward to the funeral. And then when New Year's come, no, I didn't want all of that. So she died on the 10th of December, and we buried her on the 22nd of December before Christmas. Right. And I didn't want to bury her between Christmas and the New Year either. I believe that that week between Christmas and the New Year should effectively be a not a transitioning week, but a transitioning week, yeah, from the old year to the new year. So with her being buried, some almost like a settlement, then you transition from the old to the new, right? Right. So I didn't want to have that to do in there. Yeah. But um I so our church, Better Chapel Apostolic Church at 29 St. George Road in Spanish Loan, we're doing a Mother's Day special tomorrow. And so what we plan to do is to um, send greetings, um, to remember our mothers, those who passed, and to celebrate the ones who are still here with us. And so I prepared a video earlier, um, for them to include in the special. And in that video, I spoke about, my own mother, Missionary Violet Brown, and how much she impacted my life. I think I owe my entire manly life today to the efforts of my mother. She was a champion, yes, for her children, in so many ways. Today, I celebrate life as a full orphan, full orphan. Not that I celebrate being an orphan. I celebrate life, yes, as an orphan. I remember times in my life when I was scared to think of what it would be like not to have a parent alive. I remember when my mother died, I consoled myself with the fact that my father was still alive and that his side of the family were generally long livers. So I really I really expected him to live long. And would hear say longer than he actually lived. He died last year, March 31, at the age of 83. His father made it to 101. His uncle made it to in his 90s, the one that I knew. There were three of them. So I knew my father and Uncle Daldal. He made it to about 93, I think. And then there was the bigger brother who died long, 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 long time. Probably before I long time. I didn't know him. Right? My grandmother, that's my father's mother, she made it to 89. See, and he had an aunt that died a couple of years ago. She made it to 100. See, so the people on my father's side are long livers. The folks on my mother's side, though, are not so long livers at all. My grandmother, she died at 56. My mother went out at 63. My sister Yvonne went out at 49. See, I don't know what I don't know the what age was my mother's father grand when he died, but I didn't know him. Never might have met him when I was young, but I really didn't know him. So see, so it's a lot. But my mother championed was a champion for her children. Yes. And I owe I owe a lot today, and I sit here today in memory and remember her loving kindness. Um, she had love in abundance. Um, One of the things that fascinates me about my mother was how she shared food. Yes, she cooks a pot of food, and however amount of mouth she has to feed, she lines up all the plates around the kitchen. She lines up all of them, and she starts to put food in each of them. If it's dumpling, dumpling. Yum, 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 yum. Banana. Dash in. Breadfruit. Then meat. Then gravy. And whatever. That's all my mother shared. What it meant is that neither my father nor any of the older children or even herself, number one, she didn't share out herself, and she did not share heavy early, and then either you have too much left at the end or too little. But there was equity in the way she shared food. I mean, when I watched her when I was small and she was sharing food, I was like, this woman is a genius. This woman is a genius. Yes. So whatever it was, everybody was going to partake. It meant that one person did not get a fill and the other get a little something. No, the sharing was equitable, really equitable. And that was something I really admired from my mother. One of the other things I admired with my mother is the way she prayed. My mother didn't pray surface prayers. My mother prayed deep prayers. She prayed personal prayers. She prayed connected prayers. For instance, when she when she kneels to pray, she's calling names. When she kneels to pray, the first people she prays for every single time is the government. Government. She does know all the names of the people in government, but she knows the name of the prime minister. She knows the name of her member of parliament, and such like and so forth. And those ones she know and that are more prominent in her mind, in her sphere. She calls their name before the Lord and prays for them. And then she prays for the houses of parliament. Yes. Then she comes down to the community. Before the community, she prays for the people in the business sectors. Yes, yes. All the places of commerce. She prays for them. Because she herself was a part of the business sector, though informally. So she prayed for them, called names that she knew. Then she came into the community and she prayed for the people in the community. She prayed for her neighbors. She called those that she knew their name, she called them by name. She called their children's name. Yes. Then she goes into the church. She prays for all the ministers, calling them by name, all the heads of departments, calling them by name, and all the brethren. She prays for them, genuinely prays for them, intercede for God for them. Then she comes into her home. She prays for her husband. She prays for her children that are not living with her and their extended families. Then she prays for her children that live with her. The last person she always has to pray for is herself. But right before she prays for herself, she prays for me. So I was the last child. I'm the last one she prayed for each time before she prays for herself. Now, by the time she did to pray for herself, she's tired. But I'm making a point that her prayers were not just arum scaring prayers. They were deep prayers. They were pointed prayers. They were personal prayers. They were connected prayers. Oh, look, I feed God right now. Yes, that's the mother that I had. And that's the mother I remember. My mother, if she knew that a neighbor was not at home in terms of parents, she would not give her children food and not know if the neighbor's children would eat. She'd go to the fence and call them and find out. And even if they had food, she'd give them something still. That's the mother that I had. She had a genuine heart of care, love and care for people. Yeah. I remember as I began to grow up and become a young man, I remember my mother telling me that it's important for me to learn domestic responsibilities. Just learn to cook, just learn to wash, just learn to clean. She showed me how to do all of that. But then in showing me, she cautioned me and telling me that she's not teaching me for me to disrespect my wife if my wife can't do it as well as I can. She said, if that is the case, then you ought to teach her to do it right. I don't know if a greater human being than my mother ever lived. I don't think it. I don't think there's ever a man or woman with a more genuine heart and caring spirit than my mother. And let me tell you this: if my mother had um, worldly goods, she would have given it to people because out of the little that she had, she still gave. That's awesome. And so I find that sometimes I have to be careful that I don't give my everything away. Yes. It's in my latter years here, I find that I have to try to rein myself in because sometimes I give away what I have and then I don't have any. But God is always a provider. Amen. And so I don't want to lose faith in not giving, even sometimes out of little or nothing, but give God. You see, sometimes we feel that if we give out of the little bit what we have, it's not enough. Oh my God, but sometimes I will tell you the little that you have, it means so much to somebody else. I'm at the stage of life now where 10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. A lot of times is neither here nor there because I can spend $100,000 on one go any time of the day without wasting it. Know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Yes, you know, and God has been good to me. I remember when my daughter was born, and I looked on what I earned at the time, and my wife then was working at a particular school in St. Andrew, one of the top prep schools in St. Andrew. And because she had tenure there, she was working there over 10 years. It meant that if we had a child, she could go to school there, tuition free. All we had to do is to pay the auxiliary fees, which maybe $10,000 or $15,000 per term. So when our daughter was born, and we ensured that she was enrolled in the prep school because she was going to get this um, foundational education that should serve her very well in her years, you know, in her secondary and tertiary years. And I remember after, I think, after the third year, I believe, after the third year, so she went kinder one, kinder two, grade one, and then her mother lost the job at the school. And though she lost the job at the school, to, to cushion all of that, the the principal gave us a 50% discount on the school fees for that first year of loss. Yes, because we were transitioning from zero. So they gave us the 50% discount. And so when we pay the 50% that year, we know we can plan in our heads. But I didn't know that it was just 1 year. I thought the 50% was for the rest of our time at the school. So when I went to pay the school fees for grade two, and I brought the 50%, they told me that the 50% was just for 1 year. So full fees were now due. And I was like, Jesus, please. She was ready for it because she knew, but she didn't tell me. By this time, our relationship had gone sour. So she didn't tell me. Anyway, I I trust in God. Bless the name of the Lord. I trust in God. And so this the long and short of it is that my daughter completed her prep exams last week. Yes. So she went through grade 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We paid the last term school fee 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago for grade 6. And somebody would say, who could it be but Jesus? Hmm? Up on top of that, she had an accident 2 years ago that took one tooth, one permanent tooth from her mouth. So she operates now with one tooth that is not her own. See? And so she has a procedure later on this month that will run us another 2 years. See? And that will run her for the rest of her life because she has to operate. So as she grows, there has to be adjustments. And these adjustments are not penny adjustments. They are they call for money. See? And so even as we put things in place for her college education, I have to be looking on and I say, is that sufficient? That and that sufficient and that. So put something else in place, and the thing. Yeah. But it's all because of God. See? It's all because of God. And I come back to my mother, my dear mother. And so I celebrate her. I celebrate her this year. It pains my heart that she didn't live to see my daughter, her granddaughter. And I tell you, this one is a special one, would have been a special one to her and for her. Yeah. But God is wise, God is wisdom. And I'll always cherish the memory of my mother. This year, 2025, December, will be 25 years since she's gone. 25 years she's gone. 1 year since my father has left us. Yeah? But tomorrow, at Mother's Day, I don't cry anymore. You know, I don't cry anymore. But I remember my mother in a happy way. I remember something she told us some years ago about how many times she had to deny herself to ensure that her children is all right. And she told us that on the backdrop of I don't know what happened, but I actually saw I saw her one day mending an underwear, you know. So I was just asking her why she didn't just go and buy a new one. She said, "This is what I've had to do through the years. Deny myself. I can't buy a new one. I know say you need something. See? And so My mother died before I got to that place in life that I could really manage myself. You know what I'm saying? If if my mother was alive, say for the last say 10 years, 10 years ago, 10 years coming down, I'd have been able to do so much for her that I wasn't able to do, you know. But that's the way it crumbles, and I'm just grateful that the Lord has seen it fit that I should be her son and she should be my mother. No, I'm the last of 12 children my mother gave birth to. Only seven made it. Five didn't make it. Both stillbirth, born, and died. Five. Seven made it. Two passed away, and one, I don't know. I've never met the young man. His name is, what's his name? I don't remember his name right now. His name is Donovan Chambers. Donovan Chambers. He's supposed to be the child that she had before the last set. Because the last set was with my father. That is three of us. Yvonne, Sharon, Peter, that's me. So Donovan came right before Yvonne. So before she met my father, she had Donovan. So Donovan would have been the ninth born. Yvonne, 10th. May her soul rest in peace. Yvonne passed away in 2013. Sharon lives in St. Martin. And I am Peter. So there should be five of us here. Merlin lives in Florida. Um, Madge lives somewhere in Bogwalk. Yeah. And Danny is supposed to live somewhere in Westmoreland. If he's alive. If he's alive. I don't know. So I celebrate my mother this Mother's Day. And I say, big up to all the mothers who have put their lives on the line for their children, who have shed blood, sweat, and tears for their children. Thanks is insufficient, but that is all I can give. So if you can give something more to your mother, ensure that you do. Happy Mother's Day, dear mom.